Rockstar isn't making the next Grand Theft Auto. It's building what may be the most ambitious real-time open-world rendering and simulation system we've ever seen in a video game. And the proof isn't hidden in one giant cinematic moment. It's hidden in the small stuff. In this video, we're going to break down, system by system, what Rockstar has actually shown in GTA 6 so far. No fake leaks presented as facts, no wishlist features, no internet mythology. Just the things that are either directly visible in Trailer 2, officially stated by Rockstar, or backed up by technical analysis from developers and industry specialists. And by the end, one thing should become clear. This game is not just trying to look better than GTA 5. It's trying to simulate reality at a level open-world games usually avoid, because the cost of doing that is insane. That matters because GTA 5 was a technological milestone in 2013. But its systems were still built around compromise. Clothing was mostly controlled. Character bodies looked good, but they weren't truly reacting like physical objects. Water looked convincing from a distance, but it wasn't the kind of system designed to constantly sell weight, turbulence, and interaction at every scale. A lot of what made GTA 5 impressive was smart illusion. GTA 6 looks like Rockstar is trying to move past illusion and into simulation. And the first clue is Rockstar's own wording. The studio said Trailer 2 was captured entirely in-game on PlayStation 5, using equal parts gameplay and cutscenes. GTA 6 runs on a new evolution of Rockstar's Rage technology, the same core engine family Rockstar has been iterating on for years, while also building its games around systems like Natural Motion's Euphoria, which in GTA 4 helped create those famous unscripted NPC reactions and ragdoll responses. Euphoria was notable because it didn't just play canned animations. It synthesized movement on the fly using simulation principles tied to balance, force, and body response. Let's start with body physics, because this is where Trailer 2 quietly becomes ridiculous. Francesco Piacenti, also known as FR3NKD, a professional game artist and 3D developer, pointed out that several shots appear to show muscle deformation and soft tissue motion reacting dynamically to movement. That's a big deal, because the more a body behaves like layered mass instead of a rigid mesh with an animation on top, the more convincing every action becomes. Running looks heavier, turning looks less robotic, lifting, twisting, bracing, even just shifting weight starts to feel human. And what makes it so impressive is that Rockstar isn't drawing attention to it. It's not presented like a feature, it's just there, in the motion. Exactly where true technical confidence usually shows up. And once you notice that, a lot of the trailer starts to click into place. The characters in GTA 6 don't just move smoothly, they carry inertia. Their bodies seem to absorb motion instead of simply displaying it. That may sound subtle, but it changes everything. In most games, you are looking at animation. In the best Rockstar moments, you're looking at a negotiation between animation and simulation. GTA 6 looks like that. Balance has shifted even further towards simulation. The same thing applies to clothing. Former Rockstar animator Mike York has talked about how Rockstar traditionally used bone-driven setups for certain clothing behavior because they're efficient and predictable, but he believes GTA 6 is now showing a more advanced blend, conventional rigging mixed with calculated cloth behavior. That matters because cloth is one of the easiest ways for a human brain to detect fakery. If a dress, shirt, or loose fabric element moves the same way every time, it instantly reads as a game animation. But when fabric reacts to momentum, drag, body contact, and changing direction with slight irregularity, it starts to feel real, even if the player never consciously thinks about why. And that's exactly what Trailer 2 suggests Rockstar is chasing. Not flashy physics for the sake of it, but constant subconscious believability. Hair pushes that even further. Analysts and artists looking at Trailer 2 have pointed to the way hair and even facial hair respond to lighting and movement, compared with older Rockstar games. That sounds cosmetic until you remember how difficult hair is in real time. Hair has to sell volume, softness, directionality, shadowing, transparency, and motion all at once. If Rockstar is using more advanced strand-style behavior and improved hair shading, as multiple visual breakdowns suggest, then that's not just another pretty feature. It's one more system that makes characters stop looking like game models and start looking like photographed people inside a physically consistent scene. Then there are the object-level details. This is one of the most interesting parts of the trailer because it shows Rockstar thinking beyond headline features. Analysts highlighted tiny things like individually modeled coins, highly reactive materials, glass refraction, and liquid behavior that appears far more physically aware than what most open-world games bother with. There's a shot with a bottle where the liquid, foam, and reflections are doing way more work than they need to for a normal trailer shot. And that's exactly why it matters. Studios do not spend performance and development budget on that level of object behavior unless the broader rendering model supports it. Small objects are often where the truth leaks out, not because they're important to marketing, but because they expose how the whole world is being built. And there's one more clue that fits this pattern. A report based on the LinkedIn profile of a former Rockstar graphics programmer suggests GTA 6 may feature a next-generation procedural breakable glass system for vehicles and props. In other words, glass damage may not rely on a few repeated pre-made patterns, but on fractures generated more dynamically in real time. Rockstar hasn't officially confirmed this in its trailers or press material, so it should be treated as a strong technical clue, not a fact. But if true, it fits perfectly with everything else GTA 6 seems to be doing, reducing repetition and making the world feel more physically reactive. Water may be the clearest example of Rockstar aiming at that kind of complexity. Even from the footage we have, the water appears to react dynamically to boats and vehicles, with visible wake interaction, layered wave motion, and lighting response that feels far more simulation-driven than purely animated. And this matters more in GTA 6 than it would in most games, because Vice City and Leonida are built around coastlines, wetlands, beaches, marinas, storms, and open water. In other words, water in this game is not a side feature. It's part of the identity of the world. So if Rockstar has genuinely invested heavily in water behavior, and visually it really looks like they have, that would make perfect sense. What you should be careful with is the next part. Claims about a dedicated water simulation team and fully dynamic tides have circulated online, but Rockstar has not confirmed that publicly. So it's fine to mention as speculation, but not as fact. And then we get to lighting, which may be the single biggest reason the game looks the way it does. Technical commentary around the trailer, including Digital Foundry coverage summarized by multiple outlets, points to ray-traced global illumination and ray-traced reflections, alongside extremely strong material response, glass interaction, and large-scale volumetric effects. If that reading is correct, then light in GTA 6 is doing much more than brightening a scene. It's shaping the entire image physically, it's bouncing through interiors, it's interacting with transparent surfaces, it's feeding reflections with far more believable information. And when you combine that with Rockstar's cloud rendering and atmospheric scattering, you stop getting good game lighting and start getting something much closer to photographic behavior. That's why some shots don't just look detailed, they look observed. That, more than anything, is the real paradigm shift here. Most people talk about graphics as if they're just texture resolution and polygon count. But realism in motion comes from systems talking to each other. Better body simulation changes animation. Better animation changes how cloth behaves. Better cloth and hair change how lighting reads. Better lighting changes how materials sell weight and texture. Better water changes how the whole world feels alive. GTA 6 doesn't look special because one feature is impressive. It looks special because multiple expensive systems appear to be working together at once. So when people say Rockstar is just making a bigger GTA, I think that misses what Trailer 2 is actually showing. This is not simply an open world with nicer visuals. This looks like an attempt to close the gap between authored animation and physical simulation, between cinematic lighting and systemic rendering, between dense crowds and believable individual presence. And if that's really what Rockstar has achieved on PS5 hardware, then we're not looking at a standard sequel. We're looking at one of the most aggressive technical swings this medium has seen in years. And that's why this game has taken so long. Not because Rockstar was just making the map bigger, not because they were only polishing graphics, but because every major leap they seem to be targeting multiplies the complexity of every other system around it. The moment you try to make bodies, clothes, hair, light, water, crowds, and materials all behave more like reality, development stops being additive. It becomes exponential. GTA 6 isn't trying to be the best-looking game of its generation. It looks like it's trying to reset the baseline for what players consider believable in an open-world game. And if even half of what Trailer 2 suggests holds up in the final release, then the most impressive thing about GTA 6 may not be what Rockstar chose to show us. It may be what they still haven't shown at all.